Hello everyone. I did a video the other day. It was 40 minutes long. I did it on it was like the third part or the second part to the loose videos that I've been doing, and it was really interesting. And it explained it much more carefully, much more succinctly. Anyways, filmed the video, 40 minutes long, and then realised that it actually wasn't filming. So I don't know. It was filming, but it was, black screen, so I don't know. Anyway, so that took all my energy, literally, even though we talk about using energy, anyway, it took all my energy and all of my, you've got to be on the right frequency when you're making videos that you really feel passionate about. Anyway, so I don't know if I'll do it again. I might do. But anyway, so that was that. So I might try and do it again at some point, because it was really good, and I've got notes anyway. So anyway, so I was going to just do a quick video on something I saw, and it sparked my attention. And I want to do some videos anyway on like childbirth and vaccinations and things like that, from my perspective, and the reasons why I haven't vaccinated my children. So I've just seen someone, I've just been for a coffee, and I watched somebody, I watched this little boy in a pram, and his mother was having coffee with her friends, and this little boy was just stationary, right? It was completely stationary, and I was in there for about an hour, right? And this little boy was like just stationary, right? And it's like, he must have been about what, two years old. Now, you could say, maybe he was ill, or or whatever. Could have been, but I've seen this a lot. It's like, listen, if you've got a baby, right, who's not sleeping, or or a toddler, and they're not sick or anything, or sick, that kind of sick where they don't want to do anything, which really, if they're like that, then there is something really wrong. But anyway, it's not normal for your baby or your child to be stationary for an hour. It's not normal. And I think in this society, westernized society, we've normalized kids just being quiet, being still, not saying anything, especially when we're doing stuff. And it's like it's really good. He just sat there, for an hour while I was having a chat with my mates, and he didn't do, he didn't move or anything. He didn't talk or anything. This is not normal. This is not normal behaviour from babies, but I see it all the time, right? And the reason why they're like that is because they're vaccinated. These babies are vaccinated. And the vaccinations cause this. I don't know what they do to the brain. I don't know what they do to movement, and all the kind of, the cells or the waves or brain waves or whatever it does to the child. They become almost like, I can't say that word because that sounds bad, but a bit like in status, is that the word, status? Just stationary, quiet, staring out into space, things like that. And it's like, in this society, we've grown accustomed to behaviours like this, and it's not normal. It's not normal. Your child should be wriggling around, you know, they should be, you know, chatting or, you know, making noises or whatever, you know, bothering you, you know, like a child should. They shouldn't be just sat there. The baby shouldn't just be like there, staring into space. That's not normal. And I've seen this so many times, you know. I've seen it with someone I know, you know, she's 5 and she's vaccinated. Her mum keeps vaccinating her. And is she 5? No, she's a bit older than that. And you just see her and she's just like, you'll catch her and she'll just be like staring into space. You know, just this real blank look, you know, and it's just not normal. You know, if you are a very perceptive person and, you know, you can read expressions, which is a lot to do with like your emotional intelligence, you can see that something isn't normal, right? So I guess what I'm saying is that like everything that we normalize in Western society, well, not everything, but a lot of things that we normalize in Western society has been normalized because we've been told that's normal, right? And when someone does not the norm, it's frowned upon. You know, the midwives are taught that, yeah, baby's fine, and doctors and, you know, medical school and, you know, big pharma and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, you know, it's normal if the baby has, you know, a rash or eczema or whatever it is, you know, it's hereditary and all of this stuff. And it's like, no, it's not. It's the vaccinations, you know, like movement is energy, right? And energy is always moving, right? You know, energy is always moving. You know, think of spirals and just think of like, you know, just think about all the natural things that you see. They're always moving. You know, you might see a plant or a flower, you know, and it might seem stationary, but it's not. It's moving. The plant, the alive plant, is moving. You just can't see it with your human eye. I've seen it because you'll see it if I've seen it when I've taken magic mushrooms, which, as I said in my previous video, I won't take them again and I don't advise taking them. But you see them moving. And if, I suppose as well, if you had like a really strong video camera and you see those nature programs, don't you? They have a camera there and they have it on the flower or whatever it is, and the flower's like going in and out and it's closing in and coming out and all this stuff. And, you know, everything around us is moving, right? So when you see like a young baby, just stationary, there's something wrong. There's something wrong, but we've just like normalized this. We've normalized it. And because we've normalized it, then obviously people are going to continue to keep vaccinating their babies because they're going to see this as normal, you know? And yes, it does affect the child. It does, like movement, energy, all of this stuff. It does affect the child eventually. It does. If there isn't any other kind of side effects or whatever that comes out of the vaccination, it does. You need to be moving. You need to be interacting. You just need to be doing this kind of stuff. And, you know, I'm not showing off about the fact that my kids are not vaccinated, but without a doubt, I see my unvaccinated children around vaccinated children, and there is a big difference. There's a big difference, you know, when you add all the little nuances, you know, when you're comparing them to other kids, and just the little things that you notice that they're doing that the other kids aren't, or the other kids are doing and they aren't, right? And I'm not talking about, you know, my kids like completely wild and run around and you know and just complete and cause havoc. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the fact that my kids are not dead inside. They're not dead inside. I'm not saying vaccinated kids are dead inside. What I'm saying is that these vaccinations are deadening emotions, right? They're deadening the energy that these children have, which is going to kind of move when they move into adulthood, or when they move into, you know, when they move into teens, it's going to affect them, you know. So it's no wonder why you've got these kids that, you know, think they're cats, or they're confused, you know, or depressed or anxious. You know, you've got 6-7-year-olds that are anxious and things like that. It's like, you know, there's a reason for that. I'm not saying it's all vaccinations, because there's other stuff as well. You know, it's just society in general, it's social media, it's all different things. But the vaccinations do not help, and they are actually injected into the body. I'll tell you what, that's the word. It's almost like a minor lobotomy. You know, think about it as a minor lobotomy, because that's what they did to crazy people they thought they were crazy, to stop them from like moving around, didn't they? Stop them from moving around and doing stuff, and, you know, talking or whatever it is they were doing, or, you know, talking out of turn or whatever, out of turn. So I definitely think it's something that, you know, I'm not sure if anyone else has pointed this out, but it's the little things that I see that a lot of people do not see. You know, the major things, yes, vaccinations, what they do, but there's just the little things that add up to something big. So I just think it's really important to, you know, keep that in mind. And my final point is that a lot of parents have already vaccinated their children, right? And, you know, there's nothing you can do about that, you know. And if you are kind of regretting that decision, there's nothing you can do. You can't bring back the past. You did what you thought was right at the time. That's what you did. You did what you thought what was right, okay? And whether, you know, there was an injury out of it or whatever happened, you know, there's ways to help. You know, make sure they have a good diet, and, you know, a detox system, and all these different things that you can do. But the most important thing is that, like, once you know, you tell other people, tell your family, you know, tell your friends, and they probably won't listen to you, but, you know, spread the word, and don't force it on people either, because, you know, most people don't want to listen to you. But make sure you say something, you know, to right the wrongs, if it as it were, you know. And yeah, just, if you have more kids, don't do it. So what you find is, as well, is that you get parents that will vaccinate their first or second children, wake up and not vaccinate their third, and see a huge, massive difference. I know somebody that who close to me, that didn't breastfeed their two children, their first two. They breastfed because I told them to. They should. They breastfed their third children, and today this girl, this child is 17 years old, and to this day this woman says to me, do you know what, every time I see her, she says, do you know what, I'm so glad I breastfed. There was such a difference between my first two and my little girl. Such a difference. And that's just breastfeeding. She said it's a massive difference, and she's not awake, she's not a conspiracy theorist, she's nothing like that at all. But she told me there was a massive difference, and she said, if I had the time again, I would have breastfed all of my children. And I've gone over to breastfeeding, but I'm just giving you an example. But there's plenty of examples of people that have just not breastfed their 4th, 5th, 6th child, and have seen a massive difference. So, you know, there you go. So I think it's just a really important point. And, you know, I'm not mad at people. I'm not mad at people, because at the end of the day, you know, people are just doing what they're told, and think the government has got their best interests at heart, and all of this stuff, and the families, and it's just normal, and everyone's just, yeah, vaccination runs through the family. But I'm saying to you that you know, you gotta be different. You know, you've got to stand out, And yeah, you know, you might get abuse. I mean, I got loads of abuse, you know, because I didn't vaccinate my children. Loads of abuse. And, you know, I lost a group of friends that I could have had now, you know, lifelong friends because of it. But do you know what? I'm happy I did what I did. I'm so happy. I am just over the moon, and I don't care, because, you know, I've got children that are not, you know, partially, I feel, lobotomized. Okay, right, I need to go. Thank you for listening. I will speak to you soon. Hopefully I'll do that video on beef and another video on louche. Okay, thanks guys, bye.